Right. So we live on Gael on my channel, Sunlight Studios on Facebook, on YouTube. Are we live on anything there? Right. Nice. I feel sad over the billboard, you know, right? I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. Move now, man. Thing. Facebook is really troubling already. Right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. We inside again once more. Rob a dub. 3 men and a tub. Like I say, like it's one man tonight. But I have an interesting show tonight. Well, I'm not going to say I. We. Well, I can say I because it's me alone. So I have an interesting show. But now it's we is a we thing, right? So we have an interesting show. We want to talk about some stuff tonight. Because I saw some stuff happening over the last week or so. And of course, well, we had to wait until our turn. Some people probably tackled it already in the thing. So you probably saw it already. You probably heard somebody discuss. But I want to have a go at something because there's some things I see out there and some things I hear and I just don't like. I don't care who like it. That the business. That people can say what they want, think what they want, but everybody have a say. Right? I have an opinion too. And I want people to know my opinion on certain things. And you could share your opinion on certain things, right? Because, you know, we just drop it. You could. Oh, I had a shortcut, but I can't remember where I had a shortcut. Is this one, man? Yeah, that is it. So you could call me at 751-4522. Let me talk up the islands, Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Martinique, wherever, Montserrat, ting, up in the UK, Caribbean, Canada, wherever. Call. Tortola, call. Regular people, call in on the Gael. And let me have a talk about some of the things that I will bring to all you in a little bit. But as usual, you know, the Kingdom's kick off. We had to start off with the national anthem of Gael, the Caribbean. So, we're taking the anthem and hopefully them guys will be on. I will have to WhatsApp them and find out what's going on with all you. And we go fall inside with some talk. So, anthem time.
Hey guys, so this is the actual recording. Culture Don't Close Down, Culture Don't Fall Out. Written by Mr. Ronald Ford and sang by yours truly.
You never know when a comedian serious or joking. The country was shocked to see Harold Beerback crying. People thought he was filming a new TV episode. We cultural archives was hidden in a dark hole. How we value the works of those who contribute. For my cultural expression, money can't substitute. The images will remain embedded on my mind. And for my culture, I'm reflecting all the time. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. It's a continuum between generations. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. That is how we just pass on tradition. To protect the archives of my people's expression. To save the soul of this great nation. Our people's culture keeps them strong and provides stimulus to carry on. Tell them culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. The will of my people make the bailiff up and run. If my dreamy Patsy was a wrong and still walking, she would have the bailiff on their toes running. Just I would have hit them licks in one of the episodes. Bona St. Rose would have wrecked she better get them blows. Thanks to the generosity of the people of TNT, they say the cultural works of my country. Bassy Henville must be feeling so proud of we for protecting and saving Gael TV. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. For a few dollars you can't tell culture close up shop. restoring. I dash baby would have come bushy things in the kitchen. Sprang along would have give them a good tongue lashing. It's a serious lesson that the country learned. Your cultural archives must have a permanent home. By the evening they had to leave Gael TV alone. The power of the people paid off the loan. Tell them culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Monetizing cultural assets could be rough. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Tell them financiers never all we bluff. It's not easy to foreclose on a people's legacy. To trade their heritage for some small money. Cultural contributors must be turning in their grave as they tried to block the path that they paved. Tell them culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Monetizing cultural assets could be tough. Dang da dang da day, dang dang da da dang Kyle was the something wrong of the great sprung along. Tony Hall, Christopher Led, and Wendell Etienne. So much local stars has a platform to perform. How we cultural legacy would have carry on. We thank Errol Fabian for standing strong and reaching out in the time of need and desperation. Thanks to the people for their contribution. Today Gael TV on its way building back strong. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Gael TV on its way back to the top. Tell them culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Culture can only stumble, but it will never flop. From the Ganges and the Niles emerged struck me. Calypso evolved from the brutality of slavery. The Spanish influence carrying for all and we, and the English Privy Council is still with we. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Displacing the archives is a recipe for this unity. Culture don't close down, culture don't fall out. Dang dang da da dang day. Hey hey, where you going with that? Culture don't fall out. You, hey, I pay the money. We pay with money.
I'd like to extend happy Indian Arrival Day greetings to all Trinbagonian, no, I beg your pardon, Trinidad and Tobago citizens, all Trinidad and Tobago citizens, I must say.
Hey, Ole. Sorry, I can't help it. I feel I might be playing that every week. For a little while. Hold on. Hey, this is what we talk about. Hey, hello. Culture do close down. Your correct is right, my brother. Culture do close down. So I now get information. One man making bake. I know if and I'm a neighbor, yeah? But you know, curfew time you get away because I know I'm gonna say I know if I'm gonna enjoy some of that bake. I understand what happened there. So here what happened tonight, guys. A couple things. One, last week was the wife of one of our tubbers, Alistair. Last week was his wife's birthday, Nicole. Well, guess what? You know, like they planned this. Her birthday was Tuesday. Thursday, it was their anniversary, so we want to wish them, although we did it already, but again, just publicly on Gael, you know, we want to wish them a happy, another year accomplished as a couple, as a family, a happy anniversary. But here's what, today is Alistair's birthday. That's tubber number 2, the baker. Now, he was supposed to be here, so I didn't plan no big thing, you know, like what did Nicole and, you know, big graphic and all that kind of thing, because he was supposed to be here. So I say we'd just give him a little thing here, but I'm not sure what's happening. We went out today on a job and we came back and he had some issues with his vehicles. I don't know if he's sorting that out, which I will understand because right now, partners, you need, especially this kind of curfew thing, women cutting time, close, and you need to have some kind of secure measure to move around. So I could fully understand that, no problem. The bake man thing, I understand. Okay, all right. I'm not sure, I ain't going in certain things, but I understand the man who make it bake. So I had to take that for what it is. But we want to wish Alistair Henry, Tubber number 2, aka the baker, a very, very, very big, happy Gael Knights family birthday. Right? I think I had a tune for him somewhere there. Yeah. I had to give him this song, boy. So Alistair, if you happen to be watching while you're doing some work, whatever, this one is for you, bro.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Oh, good. The things I messed tonight. So happy birthday, Alistair Henry, aka the baker. So yeah, all the favorites, all the regular TV mommy, Willie, all you give me a call and we talk and talk. So here I want to talk tonight. Serious talk. Tonight, today I got the whole nation got the news that one of our prolific writers, one of our more seasoned writers, one of our more celebrated writers in the Calypso fraternity, passed away. So we could touch on that a little bit, but I just want to mention that, of course, I see condolences and stuff passing on the channel, on Facebook, on Gael. I saw somebody posted something, which is, your favorite tune or your most memorable song from his, and they have a whole list of songs written by this man. I saw a document. There's over 500 calypsos that he penned. And the who's who in the calypso arena in Trinidad and Tobago, and even outside to some degree, would have enjoyed, for want of a better word, the benefits of his writing. So we want to say condolences on behalf of Gael Knights, of course. Again, I'm pretty sure somebody will have touched it already. But we probably the first Gael Knights people, because it's only today the man passed. So on behalf of the Gael family and the Gael Knights crew or crews, we want to say condolences to the family of Mr. Winsford Joker Divine. And I understand Trini was on an interview today on a TV station, another station, and he said he was told by Mr. Divine himself that it's not Divine as some people would usually pronounce it. Because Divine is Desvign. Divines. Desvignus, as some people might say. But his is Devine, Divine. Mr. Winsford Divine. So condolences to the family of this gentleman. But here's what I want to talk about tonight. We had a little chat in our group, because we have a little chat group amongst ourselves, we just talk about what we want to talk about in the show and stuff coming up, leading up and thing. And I came across something on Facebook from a good friend of mine, posted this thing, and there was a little discourse on it, people had their comments. I said, this is an interesting topic to talk about, because there's a lot of craziness happening nowadays with regards to this whole vaccine scenario, the experimental vaccine. Nevertheless, but I don't know why. Those of you on Facebook would notice I entitled the post, "Are we making progress?" Because I wonder if are we really making progress as a people, right? The way we think about things, the way we approach things, the way we approach each other. Everything is a fight down and a lick down and a pell down and a pull down, and even if somebody make a mistake, or say something maybe a little off, rather than try to encourage and say, "Breds, I don't think you should have said that," maybe it's a full fight down scene, and why? Why? Why not be so? You know, look, my good friend, man. This is what we're talking about. Patricia, welcome. Yeah, one man hanging outside the tub. Well, as I say, because it's one man, I could now go in the tub. But I ain't, three of we in the tub, that ain't going to be too kosher. But me alone in the tub, yeah, no problem. We could handle that. But thanks, good night to you. Yeah, so I saw this comment, and I want to put it up, though. In fact, I'm not going to, well, let me put it up, because again, it was on Facebook, is public, no problem. But I want to have my say on it, because some things I saw in it, and the whole read up and write up, and that kind of thing. So this is the comment that was posted by someone on Facebook with regards to Errol. So apparently Errol made this Twitter post. So I believe it was Twitter. And he said, our Uncle Errol, as for me, as for now, I am not taking the vaccine. Full stop. And here's this response afterward. An irresponsible influenza. This man once wanted to lead the country. Creatives, come for your friend, please. Well, we know that kind of thing. So my issue with this is what is so irresponsible about somebody having a personal opinion on something. Yeah, we understand he was once running for politics. Yeah, we understand he's in a position of influence. But he never said why he's not taking the vaccine. Firstly, he never said that. He never went on the road and say, well, that thing dangerous, or I'm not taking it because this, that, and I'm not taking it because ABC, XYZ. All he simply said was, as for me, one. So he didn't talk about anybody else. He's not telling anybody else, listen, all you're careful with that. He said, as for me, one. And he said, as for now. So again, he is not saying, listen, I have no intention of taking that ever. Take, or you could keep that. No. As for now, I'm not taking the vaccine. Anybody start to ask why? Rather than jump on the man's throat, did anybody ask, why did he make such a statement? Anybody try to find out whether maybe the man had some medical condition he was dealing with at the time? I don't know, I'm just saying. You know, and if Uncle Errol want to jump in, sorry, yeah, tell the baker I am making cornmeal and pumpkin bread now. Oh Lord, well look thing. God, I hope you're watching on, I hope you're listening. As I said, he probably engaged in something else, but I know you go see it. But I will try to get the information on as soon as I can. Cornmeal and pumpkin bread, boy, look trouble. Drama. Yeah, you understand? So, for now, that could mean a number of different things. It simply means because of convenience, for a number of different reasons, convenient for me to rush that now. It could be because maybe the man was dealing with some kind of medical issue that would have prevented him at the time, because we all know our Prime Minister was diagnosed, just saying what was said, just was said, it was said he was diagnosed with COVID, and as a result of that, he could not take the vaccine. There are people who went, did their tests, and when they realized certain conditions that they had dealing with, they could not have taken the vaccine. We don't know if maybe it was something like that. So all the man said was, as for me, as of now. That's it. But people going on with that and all kind of, how we could make such a state, and that man of influence, and thing. How that come in there? So the man can have a personal choice? How come? And because this is part of the narrative going wrong, how come? Hey, I see Mr. Baker falling in there. So give him a chance to organize himself. How come it's only if, not only if rather, but how come when somebody has an opinion that seems to go against the status quo, that seems to go against the position that the authorities have taken their issue. How come? And they shouldn't voice their personal opinion in public. In the first place, the man didn't even give an opinion. All he said was, for now, I'm not taking it. Hey, we have some people, oh, yeah, look. Well, look, family and all on the inside. Fiona, my love, what's up then? Good to have you on the guy, yeah. Yeah, man, we have some people inside. Night, everybody. It could mean that he wants more information before exactly. That's it. Simple like that. Thank you, Khalifa. Simple logic like that. You understand? There's no big fuss. He didn't beat up and let me keep that chup. You see that chuppiness? Hear it. As for me, for now, at this point in time, for my own reasons, which I have not divulged to the public, so all the don't go speculating. That's basically what it is, you know. I have my reasons. You understand? For now, the emoji will come up, boy. The emoji come up. Yeah, look at it come up, man. That's what we're talking about. Lucy, my, how should I say this? Was schoolmate to some degree. She was in a senior class to me, but still schoolmate. We went to school together, Kumuto government. Lucy, how you going, baby? Good night. Nice to see you. Nice to see all the guys inside. So, hey, top man number 2, you inside? You ready? You pumping? You pumping? Or you look at the inside in there?
I think I inside.
Yeah, I hear you good now. You hear me?
You hear me too?
I am hearing you fine, partners.
Right, well, I inside.
Yeah, well, listen, Patricia Kwamina said, tell the baker I am making cornmeal and pumpkin bread.
Cornmeal
and pumpkin bread. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Both are that in the same bread? Or
well, apparently, I know. Well, Mr. Candlestick, I understand he making bake home. So I know what's happening with that.
So he making bake?
He making bake.
But he's supposed to be here.
Well, thanks, sir. But I know. So I waited to see. I don't know. I mean, it's COVID, you know, things happen. So we had to give a little leeway. Maybe man rush home this evening and, you know, didn't reach in time. So you had to make a little dinner for the family before you fall in. So, I mean, we had to be flexible.
All right.
Yeah, man. Hey.
Well, I was doing something outside and ting.
Yeah, man. Hey, good night, Empress. How things? The warrior Empress on the inside, boy. That's what we're talking about.
Something else.
So I was just telling them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just telling them about the scenario. So let me put it back up in case you missed it. About this comment that was made, that Errol made on Facebook. And
yes, I saw it. I saw it, but I ain't lying. It was one of the most foolish.
Yeah, so I just saying, you know, breaking
foolish,
it down.
and I'm saying it publicly.
Yeah, you understand?
Foolish and out of time in comments I've ever seen.
All the man says for me, for now, at this point in time. So I am saying that could be a number of different reasons. It could be for health reasons. As somebody said, it could simply mean he wants a little more information before he decides to go at it. It could be simply that he didn't have the time because of other things he's dealing with that he might consider priority. We don't know.
Yeah.
But going off on a tangent, oh, this is a man who wanted to lead the country. Where all that come out? You know, the man is saying, take my stupid advice. Don't go and take that vaccine. But he ain't go all day. All he say for me personally. Why is the man not allowed to have a personal view? Even if he's in a position of influence or whatever, he never told anybody. Or they follow me. So the assumption is what? Because he say, as for me for now, that automatically people realize, hey, Olio,
the assumption is foolish.
I feel something wrong there. Yeah, I feel Errol knows something and he ain't telling me. I mean, come down, man. We have a phone call there, let me take it. Rubber dub.
Good evening.
Nice. Hey, good evening.
You see here?
Good evening.
Yes, my love.
Yeah, that is my uncle, right?
Of course.
Oh, okay, that is my uncle. But I took my 2 vaccines.
Yeah.
It leave up to you. You're big. You have sense. You have a mind of your own.
Correct.
Yes,
right?
that's right.
And all the adults in my family, we took the vaccine.
Okay.
Right.
right? So you have a mind, it's leave up to you if you want to take it. And he didn't say he's not taking it, so he said, as
Thank you.
for now.
For now, exactly.
You know, English language sometimes is hard to understand.
Yeah, for now, the man never say, he say for now. I know
For
a lot
now.
of people,
That,
for
you know,
they
that is my
not looking to take no thing.
Yeah.
rubber dub dub, rubber dub dub. That is
Yes.
my own.
Yeah,
That is my own. I love him,
Yeah.
but that is his opinion, and I have my own opinion.
Of course.
That's right.
Thank you very
Right?
Plain
much.
and simple.
Me,
Yeah.
my family, and I, we took the vaccine.
That nice. Okay.
Right? It have who get the 2 doses already and who have the first dose.
Nice.
Okay.
That's
Second one.
wonderful. That's wonderful.
Nice. Nice.
You
And
know,
I
so
would
everybody-
I would
Pardon me?
like sorry to cut you, but I would like that as times progress, if you could keep us abreast, keep us updated. Hey guys, 2 months pass, we feeling good. Ting ting ting. What's
Well-
happening? 6. You know.
I am a spring chicken, and so far so good. My husband and I, we are spring chicken. He's a
Right.
spring cock, and I'm a spring chicken, and so far so good.
Nice, nice, nice.
You know?
Yeah, because I
And we got
know.
we got both vaccines already. First and
All right,
second.
good. Because I know there's a factor. A lot of people waiting to see. You know, they want to monitor it for a little month or 2 months or 3 months to see before they feel comfortable enough to go. So again, like my boy, it's not that they don't want it. It's not that they have made up their mind they're not going. But again, for right now, for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's
And-
what he's saying. As for now,
And that's simple.
Hey,
That's very
hey.
simple. Yeah.
But if he has to leave the country,
Hey.
has
Well,
to
of course,
take it,
yes. You had to take it.
You know?
You understand?
All right.
And I guess when that time reach, because I am like that. I have my reason, and I will explain as we go along why I have not taken it yet.
Right.
Yet. You understand? But I'm not writing it
Yeah.
off. And as I said, if circumstances dictate that and have to take it, then I have no choice.
Right.
I will act accordingly.
You
But
take it.
right now, I have my reasons why I haven't
For
taken
not
it yet.
taking it.
Yeah.
Right. And I have my reasons for taking it.
Exactly.
All
Yeah.
right.
Nice man.
Okay,
Thank you
then.
very much.
You're welcome.
All right, good.
Welcome and
I'll
good
see
night.
you. Yeah. Taba number 3, boy.
Like
Yeah,
man,
Empress say
Shoot.
is not like the vaccine is law. Boom. Right there. That's it right there. That is it right there. Thank you, love. It's not like the vaccine is law. It's not mandatory where all must take it. And we had to put a
Yes.
yet inside there because the way things going, we had to keep a yet
Yeah.
inside it. It's not like obeying it when the seatbelt, etc. Correct is right. Correct is right. So Taba number 3.
But I know you mentioned about the stigma that it have right now about people who have decided not to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
You know, and you cannot demonize these people or make them feel that they're doing something wrong. But the question is, are you doing something right by taking the vaccine?
Thank you very much. And
What
if
is
so,
the-
what is
what-
so right?
What is the right thing
Yeah.
that you doing by taking this vaccine?
Yeah.
Because technically, you're really not protecting yourself because you could still get COVID,
Exactly.
right?
Whoa,
You may
no.
may or may not die.
Yeah, he ain't gonna. Yeah.
It's a set of ifs. It's a set of ifs.
No, before
So
you
the
say
thing is,
technically, I like to talk in grey, you know, and not jumping in. Good night to all,
yes,
all.
we
Nice.
have to
All
talk
the
in
love.
grey, Aaron.
You
Nah,
all
there's-
love shades of grey.
No, there's no gray in
And
that. There's no gray in that.
wait. I just
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that's creative people. That's how creative people just think and talk. Always in
Yeah.
the grey areas. You'll always find the shades of grey and whatever the case may be. And I know I'm jumping in the topic now. Forgive me for being late. I was
All right, hold on. Hold
As
on. Point
per
out.
normal.
We have a call coming. Let me take.
Go ahead,
hold
go
on.
ahead.
Yeah, we have to take quick callers. Rubber dub
Rubber
dub.
dub dub.
Hello, rubber dub dub.
Hello.
Yes, Alistair,
Hi.
taking the vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID. You can still get it, but chances
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I said.
me being
Well, they have
spring
your thing
chicken
plug up
will
to
be
the-
able to fight
Well,
it
the extension cord plug up.
Yes, we
with
understand. Yeah.
comorbidity.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 I mean, Alistair?
Correct.
One have
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. That's what I
Right?
said.
So, but
Is
you
it?
could still, chances are you could still get it. But if we should get it, you might be able to fight it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
By the
No,
time
I am not disputing that. I am not disputing. Actually, you are saying what I am saying, right? But what my point is, right? The point is, if someone decides not to take the vaccine, that's their personal choice. As Patricia rightfully says here, is a personal choice of that person. But there are people at this time trying to make it as though, all right, hey, you're not taking the vaccine, you're doing the wrong thing. That is not the right thing, and the right thing is to take the vaccine. Who tell you that is the right thing? And
All
where
right.
is
So
your proof
before,
that
could I
that is
weigh
the
in?
right?
Could I weigh in now?
Yes, sir.
Could I weigh in now?
Yes, sir.
Now I know
The,
we talk technically,
the bake finish?
and huh?
The
By
bake
Yeah.
finish?
all right.
Listen,
Okay.
So we
floaters and
again,
all. I'm
okay.
gonna bring one and show
All right, we
you.
got to, after talk the talk, we got to yield that after. I'm not fine,
Yeah,
but
right now,
I'm not fine.
right now,
Okay.
I taking a fast some flowers, so I make it for them. And not,
Okay, okay.
you understand?
Oh,
My,
okay.
my
I'm
daughter,
back.
yeah, she's, my daughter watch there and see my belly looking big. So when she started, yeah, she's my gauge. When she started, when I kind of complain,
Yeah.
she just taunt me. She just taunt me about my belly. So
Yeah.
she just don't say that belly. She's the daddy belly, That's so. But I, in jumping in the conversation here, based on what I hear so far, my concern is my main concern when it comes to this scenario of vaccination bullying, and that's what it really is.
Right.
Vaccination bullying, where
On both sides.
yeah,
Yeah.
so people who did and did not, and whatever the case may be. I am pro, and I said it up front. I am pro vaccination. I am for taking the vaccination. However, I am also for, if you are in doubt, feel free to stay out.
Right.
Go get the necessary information you need from your personal physician. Go take
Right.
your checkups and stuff if you have a certain concern of yours, or even if you have comorbidities. If you have your diabetic, you have hypertension, you had a heart scenario, you to your own self be true. But don't
Yeah.
don't have the fear, don't have the concern, the fear, and you ain't talk about it, you ain't do the right by your family and say something about it and running like Brave Star, and then you become a statistic. On the other hand, now I'm observing. I was observing some conversation. I think it's in Guyana, where the one of the ministers was talking about having people vaccinated and the importance in vaccine. So my friends all up and down the Caribbean, good evening, good time of day, wherever
Yes,
you
yes,
are in the
yes,
world.
yes.
Um, the concern is um, people being vaccinated to come out to work. I didn't get the story too clear, so I don't want to jump on Guyana in the wrong sense. But I was on the radio the other day and I was saying, if my co-workers have been given an ultimatum to vaccinate or you can't work, I am going to protest with my workers that you cannot do them that. I will stand by my workers or the co-workers and say it is wrong to force anybody to vaccinate. You
Correct.
understand? And
Correct.
right? However, if you're not being vaccinated though, don't run, and this is where my contention is. You cannot run and grab every single piece of information that is hanging on out there, hanging around, that is errant, misleading, misguiding, have personal agendas, and to support your view of not vaccinating and put it out there as public as facts. I have a problem with that. And that is where my thing is. I'm not saying, for me going to throw stuff out there all the time about vaccination. If people come to me and ask questions, I make sure that I'm informed enough to answer these questions. Because we are in the media. We are in a space where we need to be informed enough to enlighten the public as to what it is going on for and against, whatever the case may be. but don't go and take somebody's post because they have agendas out there that is again, without you understanding agendas, you can become part of the conspiracy theory.
That's
And
right.
people who have a fear of the vaccine and not starting by saying, you know what, I afraid this thing. I'm not too sure. I kind of afraid, and so instead of saying I'm afraid, they go in and look for the information and say, see, it's not good. This isn't good. There's a problem. This and that. So every little thing, it now becomes fear mongering, and to me, that is where my contention is. It's okay for you to stay out, but it's not okay to mislead the public with more misleading information because you have a fear about it.
All right, so here's
That's
what
a huge issue with me.
So here's where I want to jump in, and this is just for discussion's sake. Totally agree with you.
Go ahead.
But here another way to look at it. The people who are just using it, right? The people who believe in the vaccine is what? Based on the information that they get.
May or may not.
Follow what I say.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
generally, based on the
May or may
information
not,
they
but
get.
go ahead.
Good. More often than not, they are not medical professionals. They are not scientists, but they have accepted what they have been told about the vaccine, and they go with it. I cool. Because it is coming from whatever authority, whatever. So if they say this head, and they accept that and go. Follow what I'm saying? How come the general thought process is, and here understand what I'm saying, the general thought process is, if anybody besides the recognized authority at the time says something, they are the wrong ones, not the person in authority. For instance, understand my point. The Minister of Health, I'm just using that too. Let's say the Minister of Health puts out some information with regards to a procedure, a vaccine, a medication, whatever. The general thought process is, because they say it, I will believe that. But anybody else says anything outside of that, the first option is to brand it a conspiracy theory. Follow what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they don't have their out there. I'm not saying people don't do some of the same things you claim and use wrong information and twist it to their own agendas and stuff. But generally, without even getting there so far, the minute somebody says something that seems to be opposite of what the recognized authority says, it is automatically more often than not considered to be the errant information.
Right, and can I rebut to that now?
Yeah, of course.
All right. This, when it comes, here's what, right? And what you kind of alluding to is objectivity. I don't think that the general public in itself, especially Trinidad and Tobago, or even in the Caribbean, I can't even just say Trinidad and Tobago, across the Caribbean, there are a lot of people do not understand how to be objective in their views.
Correct.
So, and again, a lot of things.
No, let me be just.
I know what you're saying. I know.
Hold on.
No.
Because you see, you talking about the general public.
I'm coming to the point you was making.
All right, go ahead.
I'm coming down to the point you was making.
All right,
I was coming down to that point.
Go ahead.
But I'm coming from a different space in terms of understanding the why factor. So
No
even
problem.
if people are not first objective, and even if they counter or oppose, as you say, something that the minister or the ministry put out, at the end of the day, 90% of the times, Eric, is because of lack of objectivity.
No, but you see, that's why I want to correct you. No, this is why I want to correct. No, because you see, the people I am talking about is people who are also in positions of authority.
Of course.
So that's
and it's because again, even if the persons who object are in the space of authority, 9 out of 10 times they also have an agenda. which is sometimes like, all right, let's bring it down to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
I've been in a lot of conversations.
No, I wasn't
right
talking
in
about like
some of the
opposition,
chats.
and I wasn't talking like opposition
No, no,
and
no.
government. I just saying.
Right.
Right.
I know I'm talking about. I know
Right.
you're talking about. But I'm saying I've been in a lot of conversations right here in my own space with some partners, some fellas, some chats and different chats and stuff. And you would hear conversations about it will allude to don't be fooled and be misguided by the government. Because the government pushing an agenda towards vaccination.
Right.
Right? And because the government pushing an agenda towards vaccination, they want to push ahead that you have to be vaccinated. And I'm saying, if you're objective, you would hear the government say, yes, they're pushing the agenda for vaccination, but they're not saying that you have to be vaccinated. To this point, no one can conclusively say, the Prime Minister say, you must be vaccinated or else.
No, he said that openly. He said that that's not what they're pushing. He said that.
That's not the agenda.
last meeting, correct.
But you would find people pushing questions and pushing ahead to squeeze that type of narrative out of him because
I hear you, but I think you
because
understand what
there's
I'm
a
saying.
percentage. There's a percentage of the community
Yeah.
that will oppose for various reasons.
No, but
and then other people who are sycophants of the leadership.
No, that's
turn
why I
and say-
said no. That's why I need to correct that because I don't think I think I missed. So let me bring it perfect so that there's no ambiguity. So
Go ahead.
the medical fraternity that exists, let me understand what I'm saying, now, which is headed by the Minister of Health, the different corporations, whatever, right? So they have taken a position with regards to the vaccine. The other person I'm talking about in authority, for instance, could be a seasoned medical doctor, no politician.
Yeah, understood. Understood.
Hold on, right?
No, understood.
No, but wait, but let me finish. So they're not no political agenda. They're just from their own research because they know, whatever. They are of the opinion. Follow what I'm saying? They are of the opinion that the position that the authorities may have taken with regards to the vaccine may not be the best one. What I am saying, in a position like that, the general public automatically says, because Dr. So-and-so said that, they're wrong, because that's not what the government say. That's the point I'm trying to make. There's no agenda there. That's just his personal, because of his medical background. So
A lot of people,
No, follow. So here is one person with a medical background saying pro-vaccine, another person with medical background saying do vaccine. But because the pro-vaccine falls under the general drive of the authorities, the person who is saying no vaccine is automatically seen as the one who is pushing an agenda.
Being rebellious. Right.
And that,
being
my
rebellious
point, and that
and
may
being a
not
rebel.
necessarily be so. That may not be so, because because the person is talking also, and this is the point I'm trying to make, that person is also talking from a medical background. They're not speculating. But just because...
There was a lady...
No, but understand what I'm saying? But just because they're not in the position of authority, the automatical assumption from the general public, he wrong.
All right.
And
so
that,
there was
that
a lady,
in itself is dangerous.
I'm going to jump on the point that you make in terms of, there was a lady, a doctor in one of the countries, she said she gave her patients hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember seeing that clip. So she stepped out and said nothing is wrong with hydroxychloroquine, and she gave her people hydroxychloroquine because some of the symptoms would have be similar to what hydroxychloroquine could treat.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with regards to other people come forward and shut it down early in the game. And again, everybody, if you don't take a step back, and as I tell people this, if you don't take a step back, if you stand too close to the elephant, you wouldn't see the elephant in itself in its total beauty. Step back and look at it from a little distance, you could get the entire elephant. Standing too close to the elephant now, you're not being objective.
True.
She has a point. She has a point. Maybe if you use hydroxychloroquine, whatever the case may be, the other side was hydroxychloroquine is not for everybody.
True.
And if you give everybody it, the lupus patients who need it the most will
Right.
not get their medication.
Right.
And now you have a lupus scenario coupled with a COVID scenario, and so now you have a pandemonium inside your health system.
Yeah.
A lot of people would hear the hydroxychloroquine good, but they're not seeing the other effects that it could also have. And as I say, being objective would cause you to understand that.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is that I believe, and this is where the problem lies for me. What happens is that the doctor who, as you say, would come and talk against or is against the vaccination or whatever the case may be, and they make the point, they will talk from A to Z about the point, given the full spectrum of the thing. And people now will take A to F and run with A to F. So anybody else who didn't take time to see A to Z and get A to F, still getting the doctor's point of view, but not the entire point of view. So which now they can make an educated decision. Okay, I hear what she's saying. It makes sense. Something still a loophole in that problem. There's a little something inside. Down when you look at N, down by LMNOP, there's a little something that I still question. And this is where the challenge is when it comes to people objectivity, not being able to process the information in its entirety, so you can make an educated decision. And the other aspect of, and this is the why as well, the other aspect of that is, if you're a fan of your government or your leadership, you are going to automatically have a bias for what it is for who your leader is. And that happens on a political scale, it happens on both sides.
Yeah.
You understand? However, and this is where the challenge to me is, could we stand up in the middle enough to see the both sides of the argument and then say, you know, they are going here because it's making sense. As for me, and I tell people this, when it comes to the vaccination discussion, I see myself as a citizen of the world. I don't even just see myself as Alan the entertainer or Alan Augustine Living. I see myself as being a part of a bigger system. And if I go out and I interact with people, I was talking to my partner just now, he's saying, if you're in your car alone and a police stop you, you didn't have on your mask, I said true. I said, but did the police stop you and to talk to you, put on your mask. But it's not about the authority that talking to you, it's about protecting yourself because you don't know what the police have. And it's just simple common sense. It's not even just you're fighting down anybody.
Yeah.
You understand? And then you're afraid the police, but you put it on because you're going to interact with the public again, even if you're vaccinated. Even if you're vaccinated. It's just that people not using a certain sense of common sense. And again, it really comes down to our personal backdrop, educational wise, the politics of the day. Because we are so divided in politics. Everything is political. Everything is automatically political. So therefore, there's no, you understand? So there's no shades of gray where that is either on that side or on this side. And if you're on this side, so it's a lot. It's a lot. And the other part of it as well, the last part I want to make my point now jump off, is that
We're jumping off, we're going.
we have. Just no, I'm talking about jumping off, so I'll give Alistair opportunity to comment. We have never been in a pandemic before. We here.
Yeah.
So when we hear pandemic, and we in the middle of a pandemic, this is new to us. Everything about the situation, we read it before, but we never lived it before. And a lot of people don't appreciate that space that now we're in the living of it. So now we need a scientific way. You have to fall back on the science of the thing to get through the thing because it happened before. We didn't study this thing. the virologists, the pathologists, and the other epidemiologists and all the other ologists, they would have studied it. And
Yeah.
now they come to the front. This we need to do, friends. And so everything we hear they say, no, it's the fight and argue against that. I'm not too sure about everything. So I'm listening to them, but I'm running back now and do my own little research just to fortify myself with enough information. So when I'm talking again, I could connect two dots. All right, this making a little sense. I can understand. I see this already somewhere. I read it, I hear it, wherever the case may be. But the science that we need today, we need the science now of a pandemic to get through this pandemic. And people not too sure about how to navigate that information.
All right, before let's jump on it. So again, full 100 agreement with what you're saying, but I just want to make this point clear that I'm not sure if you get it, but just to make the point clear, the point I'm making is simply that you actually said it, but I just put it a different way. We have arguments coming from both sides, valid, one way or the other. That same case in point with the woman you talk about, the doctor who talked about the hydroxychloroquine.
The doctor, yeah.
Right. You know what was the outcome of that? She was branded a conspiracy theorist.
Theorist, right?
And that's the point I tried to make. Once what is said is not in line with what the authorities are saying, you are automatically considered the bad one. And that may not necessarily be... No, follow what that's what I said. Follow what?
No, Eric, I got your point.
No,
I just tell you,
listen,
who branding shit?
Well, I know.
Who branding shit?
Well, yeah, I know.
It's the people who want to follow the people who conforming.
Yeah, I know.
The people who are conforming, branding shit too.
No, but I want to make the point because I don't think people stopping to consider that. And the point I'm trying to make.
I hear you.
I don't think the average person stops to consider those factors. We have been schooled to automatically accept what the government say, what the authorities say. Here's the point we forget. The person, for instance, who is the Minister of Health now, wasn't the Minister of Health 5 years ago. He will not be the Minister of Health 5 years from now. So the position he might take on an issue now, being the Minister of Health, as a private citizen, it may be different. Is he automatically a dunce? No, because he's not in position, he doesn't understand, he doesn't know. And you see, what I'm saying, this is how the average person thinks. Once the government says it, once the authorities say it, it is as good as gold, I could take it and run with it. Anybody who not in a position of authority, they're not as bright. So they don't know as much.
And the governments... I hear what you're saying. Yeah. And I'll say this. I look at things from... I look at everything like the makings of a clock. We watch the clock on the wall, and we know all you have to do is put in a battery in the clock, and the clock works. But between the battery and the hands that we see, there are a lot of different turning pieces as well. So the minister of and this is because we are not, when it comes to these systems, we are not exposed enough as a layman to how the systems work. So when the Minister of Education speaks, and again, I'm not being political here, friends. I'm just saying systems are very important, because I myself, being a part of an insurance industry, there are other systems that made me the agent that I have to respect, follow the guidelines, wherever the case may be. So there are always systems behind everything. And people, when you see the Minister of Education or the CMO is not the perfect law, or let's just say the final letter when it comes to the information he is conveying, because he needs to understand a lot about what they're talking about so he can relate. However, there would be a virologist specialist, a pathologist specialist, and a different specialist that is speaking to the CMO, and the CMO to the Minister of Health. They then take the information to the Prime Minister. So the systems building up to the Prime Minister is not one of the Prime Minister get up 4 o'clock in the morning and say, "There's a few going to do today." He has to be so. You remember the opposition leader, when she was Prime Minister, she was always saying things like, "I am being advised." Her main line was, "I'm so advised." Yeah. Because as she still wouldn't have all the information as Prime Minister. She depends on a system to bring the information up to her. And then she speaks from a prime minister level. So a lot of people are not aware of the systems that works behind these systems. So is not the CMO alone talking. When the CMO comes, he's talking for the whole staff that is feeding him information. And so it is easy for us to not appreciate or to criticize or to critique. However, part of the reason why we are partisan in a sense is because we're really not focusing on the systems that behind the.
Hey, audio cut off.
Hey. Yeah.
So I think our responsibility, every government's responsibility, really and truly, too, is to find a way to ensure that the layman in every society understands these systems rather than to jump up on the horse and try them and love yourself or try to get them in the space of euphoria.
Yeah.
You understand? They're doing for we and we again and what again.
Do you know that part of the British system of education that we have inherited was that the people on average do not receive a certain level of education?
It's quite clear. That's quite clear.
So then based on what you're saying, while it sounds nice, the reality is our system does not cater for that.
Right. And what has happened is that, and what also happens is that, people who understand these things, when they're in the space to agitate or to ensure that it changes, they forget to change it.
Exactly.
They don't.
And what happens at the end of the day? The average man walks away with a certain perception.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying.
This is why.
And this is
why I. This is why I.
Oh, we keep clashing. This is the point I'm trying to make. Alan, I could tell you about those systems. I have worked in the heart of it for a period of time. They're not perfect. We know that. That is one. But we also have to appreciate that not everybody who is part of the system have the agenda for the heart of for the people, so to speak. A lot of people who are part of the system have their own personal agendas running in it. The point that I'm making is that there is this assumption because it is coming from the system, it is all correct. I am trying to let people know that is not always the case. And somebody who is not part of the mainstream, somebody who is not part of the mainstream may also have valid information, but because they're not part of the mainstream, we reject it. Let me take a call. Robert Abdul.
You sure you want to take the call?
Yeah, well, I'm taking it already.
10 o'clock, time for CCC.
I'm not going to say, if you take that call, you're going to get buff now. I'm not going to tell you it's CCC time. I'm not going to tell you it's CCC time. You really want to take that call? That's what I said. You're going to take that call?
Eloise, we sure. All right. Yeah. No problem. Listen, I want to say anything before we jump to CCC.
Nah, let me go to CCC.
All right,
that's serious.
I think, and the song we have for CCC is instrumental to what we're talking about, actually.
Actually, yes. Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
So where I had that? Let me see where I have that thing set up, boy. What going on here?
Who announcing it?
No, it's me. It's my turn tonight. So,
all right.
CCC.
The man want it turn.
We head into some 3-hour shows, but we gotta watch that. Anyhow, so ladies and gentlemen, tonight CCC we have a little special tonight. So I mentioned this earlier, and this ties in with CCC today. For those who didn't hear it, Winsford Joker Devines passed away. The prolific lyricist from Mon Diablo who crafted over 500 calypsos, has been ailing for some time and passed away early this morning. He was 77 years
And a
old.
lot of big tunes.
Yeah, well,
Big
let's say
tunes come out of this
along
man.
with the Evergreen
tunes, man.
Calypso Progress, which he has penned for King Austin,
Yeah.
Divine, sorry, not Divine. He said his name is pronounced Divine. Divine wrote songs that have become anthems for calypsos, such as calypsonians such as Sparrow Crazy, Baron Posa, Lord Blakey, Sugarloaf Shorty, and Marshall Montano. Divine also wrote the memorable Steel Music Festival test piece. I remember this, entitled Fire and Steel. He was in 1988 presented with Trinidad and Tobago Hummingbird Silver Medal for Music and the Arts. So, our song of choice this evening, interestingly, is the very song that was written that mentioned at the top, written by, and it's actually one of my favorites, written by Mr.
Big tune.
Yeah, Winsford Joker Devines. Here is King Austin with Progress. And it's a lyric video this time, so I want us, because we see the words. Good lyrics.
Come on in.
Today, when I look around in the world, what do I see? I see footprints that man have left on the sand while walking through time. I see fruits of our ambitions, figments of our imaginations, and I ask myself, when will it end? When will it end? It is plain to see, universally this land is not bountiful as it was, simply because in his quest for success, nothing stands in man's way. All rivers run dry, soon the birds will fly, the mountains will be no longer high. And when I really think of it, I just wonder why, oh why. I see charity deplored, equal rights totally ignored, wisdom and ingenuity working in accord, simply to afford such inventions as thermonuclear warfare and environmental warfare. And I wonder now, where do we go from here? Prophets everywhere gaze upon the horizon and declare that judgment will come as the savage hands of unscrupulous men defile everything pass by. Time is running out as we eat and drink, species at the brink of being extinct. And I think no one can deny that the price of progress is high, real high. I see consciousness as great as today we live recklessly. Money make egos inflate and thereby create a turbulent state. I see a struggle between the sexes, new hang-ups and old complexes. Now the question is, right in context, what shall be next? I've already seen this world have come divided between race, color, creed and class. And some of the things the scripture predict should fully come to pass. Soil that wouldn't bear children, making children to be a part of this growing mass. And I ask, if this is progress, how long will it last?
King Austin inside, Winsford Devines. progress. Yeah, so I don't wonder if you're really making progress. We have a comment here. I'll read it off just a moment. I want to give Alistair a chance. Where you going? Hey, how Alistair and Alan freeze on the wait for them because this comment is really for Alan. Right, back. Oh, there, got the back inside. Nice.
Oh yeah, I went for a piece of bread. I went for a piece of bake day.
Hold on.
Oh gosh.
Let's show off now.
Yeah, boy. The girl piece of
Yeah.
bake day, boy. So, right,
Yeah,
you see
Alistair.
a comment?
Yeah, go ahead. Well done.
How
You go ahead
you
now.
feel?
I'll go read it off after. Go ahead. Go ahead, Alistair. Yeah. Are you listening? All right.
Yes, I
So,
wanna
read
eat
the comment.
mouthful.
one
You can't
is a
talk.
question. So the person asks, could it be that the government is fear mongering towards being vaccinated? That's
You
one.
want to answer that question?
No, hold on. No, is that question. I don't know. I don't know. I
I
honestly
know you
don't
go to
know.
that view. No,
Yeah?
I know you go to that view, but go ahead. What's your next question?
No, there's no other view, but it's something to be considered.
Listen.
That to me, that's not. Wait. On one hand, it's far fetched. But on the next hand, it's not that far fetched. Because
Why?
I could
On one
tell
hand-
you, I could say this that there are instances while speaking, you could get that type of
Tone.
The feeling, you get a
tone.
feeling. Yeah.
And the
Tone.
feeling,
They have a tone.
right?
Right.
Because like the statement, vaccinate to operate.
Yeah.
You would have heard that in the last, and
Yeah.
to me that
Good night, Pat.
that little statement is
Yeah.
where we have to be careful. Is where as leaders, because now to me it wouldn't do me anything because I would have to say, well, if you say that your business, you can say what you want, you can talk to them out there, but then it will have somebody who will say, well, boy, like I really have to do this thing. They're in two minds. No, Alan, you have to be real about this whole thing.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening, and I am again. Go ahead.
This vaccination thing is so serious. It have people studying right now that if they don't vaccinate, how they go make a dollar? Because one simple statement, vaccinate to operate.
Yeah.
That to me in itself is it could border irresponsible. It border in there. It's a subliminal message you're sending. Hey, me telling you that to vaccinate you, but eventually you want a hardware to open, you want a closed store to open. If everybody vaccinate, well, all right, open. It sounds like that, right? It sounds like that.
So it's a low-key threatening. It's a low-key threatening.
Yeah, to the not so informed public. And that's where we missing the whole thing. Because there are people who listen to social media, press conference, Newsday, Express and Guardian, and that's where they form their opinions. They're not like me and you to have the knowledge or the wares to go and say, all right, let me type up this, let me start researching and reading this and pulling this, and that's the reality of this thing, Alan. That's the reality right there. So our leaders have to be very, very careful in the statements that they make. And we have a crazy person who just come on every Monday and talk a set of craziness. Every Monday night. I don't know if you ever watch. Every Monday night.
Before Alan answer, I have a
Eh?
part two to this when you finish. Before Alan respond, I have a part two.
Right.
But go ahead.
Monday night is like a forum kind of thing.
You have a call, you
But
want it? Or you want to take the call?
yeah, let me take the call.
Alright, let me take the call.
I will try and keep my trend at all.
Alright, rubber dub
Rubber
dub.
dub dub.
Rubber dub dub, gentlemen.
Nice, good night.
Nice.
Good evening, sir.
How you all doing? Alan, what's up?
Good man.
I the humble, how you
Good.
doing?
Listen, I want to train my little 2 cents with respect to
Yeah.
the vaccine. Yeah. There have
Yeah.
been thousands and thousands of conspiracy theories with respect to what we keep reading on a daily basis. Which I believe,
Yeah.
in my opinion, has corrupted the minds of a lot of individuals. For different reasons, persons have been putting things on social media pertaining to economics, with respect to politics, and what they can benefit from it. But gentlemen, if we all watch the news tonight to realize exactly, most of us would have either US visa or Canadian visa. And there are restrictions if you want to travel in this country. Almost each and every
Your song, caller, you all getting him clear? Because the song a little muffled.
Yeah, in and
Again,
out.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
in and
coming
out.
out.
You're getting in and out.
let me
Barely
let me
hear.
bring the phone closer. Yeah, what I'm saying too though is
Yeah,
that
please.
almost each and every sovereign country will create laws in the near future or policies. You hear me better?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Loud and clear.
Yeah, which will definitely guide how we behave. So whether you like it or not, more than likely, in order to operate and what will be quote unquote the new normal, you will have to take it, or you will just be like if you were the odd one in the bunch. Canada is actually saying that they have created policies. Barbados has created policies. So let's see how it goes. But I know in time to come, it will come just like your MMR, mountain measles and rubella, whereby
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You
whereby
have to have
you
these shots
must
to get in certain countries. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you don't travel, just right within the little territory where we reside, there would be restrictions. All right, wonderful program. Nice
Thank
topic.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
Nice
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
And that as well is part of this as part of the science that we are going
yes.
to be a part of as we go forward. And people
Right.
again
And
because you're not
and
No, no, I want to come to that, but I'll still finish.
I now
Go ahead.
I agree with the caller. I agree with the caller because at the end of the day, governments do what they think is necessary. It's plain and simple. And as for now, in the words of
Are you saying think, or are you saying think, sir, or are you saying what is necessary
No,
for,
I agree
for
with
life
him.
and life?
no,
Think.
I say think.
Think.
No, don't change it. I said
No, I am saying I'm
governments.
asking think.
I'm saying think,
I agree with that.
right? Governments think they do what is necessary. Because not all the time they do what is necessary.
Exactly.
Right? Now, running our country is not an easy thing. So at the same time, one has to have the upstairs to understand that at times they will go drastic. Because I was having a discussion on Facebook with somebody, and they was like, it's unplanned and it's this and it's that, and it didn't making sense. But then I was like, you planned for this pandemic last year by chance before it happened? Were you ready for this?
Yeah.
So I understand that they would do what they think is necessary. I understand that. It may not be necessary in other people's eyes. Some people might say it's a waste of time. So we have to accept that reality. That is just how life is. Right? So
And you see,
educating
okay, go ahead. Finish. Yeah, you go ahead.
educating the people about what it is we going through, what we going forward, what we gonna do, the science is the important thing. And I have to say that on that front, people in this country have to be happy that every how many days did this have? Every day nowadays have a press conference. Is every day or
I
every
think it's
2
three
days?
times a week. I think it's
Three times a week.
Yeah.
Because
3 times a week.
I am not. Go back how it was
Alan,
Alan.
never. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, sir. Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Now don't worry, Sam.
Yeah.
I do that. I had to do that just now to do something.
All right.
Oh, all right, cool. Yeah. Because other places in the world, people don't even have a clue about what's going on for the week. All they know is people dying, and you have to do this and you have to do that.
Look at the curfew,
So we
man.
still
He didn't even know it had a curfew.
the man didn't know. And he going to work and waiting for the bus normal 4 o'clock in the
Normal.
morning.
4 o'clock in the morning.
He cocktail was booked all how. But again, it's not that kind of SOE, so he might it's a little different to the SOE in 1990. It's different. But I don't know. I just is not this. My statement is not anti to anything.
No. I hear what you're
or
saying,
pro
and I
to
don't think
anything.
I
But
hear what you're
it's just the
saying
fact
on
that
that
we have to
level.
understand that hey, these people there to do what they think they need to do, whether we like it or
And
not.
no, and this is where the to me the dilemma is. We sit down here outside of the knowledge. I listened to a lady this morning, and I sent the clip on our chat, and I said a discussion happening now on a certain radio station. They was playing a virologist. A certain virologist. And they were asking her a lot of questions concerning all these things concerning the pandemic that she could have answered from a virologist point of view. You understand? And before Eric bring in the topic, because I know Eric wanted to get the other side of this thing, so I'll be very quick. When she gave the understanding of certain, based on the questions that were being brought forth to her in terms of the composition of a virus and this and that and the other things, and there are a lot of things that she said that I could have clinged to and understood because I would have gone to a space of observing and doing my research. And I was just telling my daughter today, Alistair, we will sit down here and we'll think that people will do what they think. But when you have the responsibility of an entire nation on your shoulders, it is no longer a matter of what you think is right. You have to go on an educated perspective. If you are operating in the halls of leadership in a country based on how you feel or think, something is wrong in my book. That to me is you have to get. Hold on.
The perception of the word think.
Hold on. Hold on. No, but if we say it like this, pal.
No, I'll clarify what I mean.
But if we say it like this,
yeah,
it doesn't hold water to what this pandemic scenario is about. Now, if on the general scale, governments will do what they think is right, yes. Each government come when they have their personal agenda on a general level. But remember, the context you're talking about here
it still applies. It still applies.
It's pandemic.
It still applies.
I can't say that. No, we can't say that.
It's simple logic. It's simple logic.
It's because what they think.
Hold on.
We can't exactly.
In a space. And again, hold on, Alistair. My contention is this. If you are sitting down at the helm of the country, Alistair, and you don't have the wisdom enough to bring all the king's men and all the king's horses together to get the best possible solution, it is not going to be based on what I think. It's going to be based on all the king's men that working together and bringing a solution to the problem.
But that way you say the government, they do what they think. The government is not a person. The government does what they think. You could put it in a collective, you can break it down to individuals.
In the context the context of a pandemic, this is not about what you think now. It's about what is the science and how we're going to deal with this matter going forward.
It's still boils down to what you think. It's still boiling to what you think,
Okay.
Alan, because you had to read all the information, you had to look
Listen,
at all the stuff
listen.
and form a conclusion based on
Listen.
the information. But so it still boils down to
Yes.
what you think.
Yes, but it's not me. It's not a lister.
No, but he never said so.
A
He said the
lister.
government.
No. Wait.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
based on what he said, I agree that governments will do what they think is right.
Right.
And you agreed as well.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm saying that applies on a general context. But when it comes to life and livelihood, it is no
Yeah.
longer a matter of what I think is right. It's a matter of what we have to sit down
Who is
and
we?
hammer out what
Who
is
is
the
we?
right way forward
Who is we?
as
Who
the
is we?
leadership,
But that's what he
the
said.
government. The
But that's what he
government.
said.
No, I'm going to say no. And
So,
no,
so,
there's
so
a
the
saying.
government, so the
Well-
government in a pandemic is a different government to the government normally.
That is not what I'm saying, Eric.
Well,
That is not what I'm saying, Eric.
Well,
That is
right.
not what I'm saying.
so then what
That
is
is not what I'm saying.
No, I'm asking,
I'm talking
yeah.
no. I'm talking
Yeah.
about in two spaces. One of agendas outside of a pandemic versus when it comes to life and livelihood in a pandemic.
How you a gender? I don't understand. All he simply
Leave it
said,
alone.
regardless, Alan, regardless of whether
Leave it-
it's
no, leave it alone.
Alan, whether it's normal living, whether it has to do with school, economics, a football field, at the
Ministry
end
of
of the
Health,
day, whatever it is,
crime,
in a pandemic,
everything.
outside of a pandemic, at the end of the day, any government will do what they think is right at the point in time. That's simple.
Okay,
So it
all
doesn't
right,
change.
no problem.
It doesn't change. The,
But
the
my-
specifics,
yes, but in terms-
the specifics
but all right.
may change
All right.
because of the pandemic. But it still boils down
And
to
my point
they
is,
doing what they think.
and my point is,
Uh-huh.
you still have to be informed in your thinking.
Of course.
Even if it's not right, and the information you need is the specialists and the science
We never
and
said-
all the kingsmen.
and
that's
still,
just-
and
so
still
I
when
am
they take
further
all that
and
And still,
information,
that is
and when they take
It's
all
a
that information and
collect-
call it,
it's
what does it
just a
boil down
collective
to? They
thinking,
have to
Eric.
now come up with a conclusion.
Eric.
They do what they think is
I
right.
am not
Is a
again.
collective
I am not.
thinking.
Yeah.
I am not opposing what Alistair said, and I ain't
Yeah.
saying Alistair talking nonsense or anything like that. So
You didn't say that.
I know you're right. No, you're coming down our throat like if we're on the same page. At the end of the day, we are on the same page.
Yeah.
All
Oh
I
my
no,
God.
Yeah.
no, we are on the same page. All I'm doing is getting deeper into the whys. So when I say all these men come together to create a thinking or
Yes.
to create some solutions, this informs the thinking going forward. So people
Yeah.
not, because you remember when we talk in this forum here, people looking on would say true or not true, yes or no, whatever the case may be. But if we are not lifting our people to a better way of thinking or understanding, then all that we're doing here is for naught.
Agree.
Because and that's just me. So
No, we agree.
even
We
if I'm on
agree
the
with
all right,
Yeah.
and that's the space I'm talking about in terms of I might go a little deeper into the whys.
Yeah.
Because in terms of the why we have this problem today, the problem
Right.
we have in today is because the people not educated enough
Correct.
to understand. You understand, like a
Right.
simple thing like subsidy on gas. When I don't want to trade off, but simple thing like subsidy on gas. I didn't grow up in school
Right.
hearing about subsidy in gas. It's
Right.
until I get big man and putting gas in my own car.
Now we
We have
take-
a-
we
I
have
get
a
to
call
the
that one.
subsidy.
You have a call.
Well,
They went off
well,
and they
this
call it
one
back
just
again.
now.
Let me take it. Let me take it.
Let me take on here.
Rubber dub dub.
Good night, Rubber Dub Dub.
Dub dub.
Yeah, man.
Ah,
Gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
I listened to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Alan is way ahead of all your thinking.
Uh-huh.
Alan is more scientific than you all.
Uh-huh.
Everybody have to think of what they do before they do it. So saying that the government will think that they do the right thing is not just that they think. Alan is so far ahead of you too, because he's discussing, as he said, when you bring all the king horses and all the king men together,
Yeah.
you use the science, the knowledge, the education of experts,
Uh-huh.
and based on past or other countries' experiences and you deal with that, then you must think of what you have to do. So you can't just say the government does think they're doing the right thing. As I say, Alan is on the right, on the same page with you, you know.
Hold on.
Hold on.
You missed,
Hold on, listen to
you
me.
missed the whole,
I
you
need to
missed
correct
it
you. I need
fly
to
over
correct
your
you.
head.
He did
Hold
not
on,
say.
You
listen
fly,
to
it
me.
fly over your head.
Let's go.
Alan is
say-
on
Let it go,
the
let
same
it go, let
page
it finish,
with
Eric.
you.
No.
Hold on, Eric, hold on,
No, I need
hold
to
on, Eric.
correct him. He did not say the government think they're doing the right thing. He said the government will do what they think is right. That's a different story altogether.
All
That is
right, okay,
different.
if you want to
That is
put it,
different.
this thing that they're doing what
All right,
is
you
right.
missed it.
No, you say that again. They
Listen.
not think they're doing what is right. They're doing what they think is right. That is different from
All right.
saying they think what they're doing is right. That's different.
When
right,
you
Eric,
make a
hold on.
decision,
Yeah.
personally, don't
Yeah.
you think you're doing what is right? When you personally make a decision,
Uh-huh.
don't you think you are doing what is
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You hear what I say? Personally. When you personally.
Yes, personally. Now, mind you,
Right.
we put people in charge to run our affairs.
Uh-huh.
So we have to depend on them. The same way as our children depend on us as adults and parents. We have to depend on
when
the
you-
people we put in charge to do what they think is best for everyone, not
That's an-
any one individual.
No, but that is what he just said.
What I'm saying is that Alan is more scientific in his thinking
Yeah, but that
than
doesn't
the
mean
two
you're
of
way
you.
ahead. He might be more scientific, but that doesn't mean you're way ahead. But that's the next story. You can leave that
He's
there.
way ahead. He's
No,
way
but
ahead.
yeah, no
Eric, well
problem.
done.
No
worry.
problem.
Eric,
No
wait,
problem.
We
No problem.
we hear you, caller. We hear
He's
you.
way ahead.
Alan is your
Alan,
keep on
partner.
the good
no
work,
You
problem.
man.
understand that? That's
All
your,
right.
that's your
Caller.
partner.
I see you
Understand
looking
that?
bewildered, but don't worry.
Yeah, this next one, I'm a partner. Yes, yes.
Up,
That
appreciate
you
it.
better-
All
that
right,
you
all
better-
right.
that you
Thank
better-
And so, hey,
that
Eric,
you better
thanks,
understand.
caller. Eric,
Yeah, yeah.
Eric, here's this, right?
Yeah.
I was tying this in. I was actually tying this in with what you're saying in terms of the possibility of the statement vaccinate to operate is concerned.
Yeah.
It is possible it can be viewed as an irresponsible statement.
Right.
Again, it comes down to the objectivity of the person or the narrative that's going on in personal minds. Yes, now, wait on me.
Right.
Like
Right.
I told my daughter again today, and I'm saying this to you guys, have a position on things. You cannot be, even if you're in politics, whatever the case, you cannot necessarily or be on the fence about something. What is the government's position? If the government's position is vaccinate to operate, if you feel as though it means I have to get vaccinated if I have to work, that is your personal view. What people do is that they take the personal view of something that they hear and they make it the gospel. And to me, this is where the dilemma is. I had to take all the information, like I said, from A to Z, because I know before he said vaccinate to operate, 2 weeks before, or the last time he was on before, he said it is your human right
He said
to
it last
neglect and refuse vaccination. So in my mind, in thinking of the entire A to Z, how does
Alan, you
one
don't
say
have to
in
defend
one
the
breath,
Prime Minister.
oh, I am not,
There is no need to defend the Prime Minister. I know
I
what he
am
said.
not, bro. Remember
Why
I
are you
talking
defending the
about
Prime
from the
Minister?
stand.
All right,
Could
so,
I
Alan,
state
so let me
my
ask you.
case?
So let me ask you this. Let me ask
Yes,
you this.
no, before you ask
All right,
Eddie,
go ahead.
before you ask
Go
anything,
ahead.
please.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just let people talk and I just listen. I am saying
Yeah.
my standpoint here is being objective.
Right.
Is the objectivity of our
Go ahead.
citizens. We are not objective
Right.
enough. So even if he says vaccinate to operate, that is the government's position about vaccinating to operate based on a economic scale. We want to get economic activity up and running, and that is why they would push vaccination for operation. If the middleman, who is what you call them, the business owners, decide, oh, that's where you're going with it. I'm going to get my workers vaccinated, and he come and say, if all them vaccinate, all they can work.
Which he
Every
can do.
media house, wait,
He can do. We know he can do that, Alan.
because he, huh?
No.
Hold on, no.
No employer could do that, Alan.
Please hold
Because
on.
then you're bordering a lawsuit.
Please hold on. He could do that.
Go ahead.
He could say,
Go ahead, Alan.
that don't, but that don't make him right.
Go ahead.
He could say, all go and get wait.
Go
He
ahead.
could say,
Yeah.
as a business owner, I want to make sure my business continues, and I ensuring that my workers get vaccinated. If between here and the workers there's a spill, and the workers say, I don't want to get vaccinated, sir, it's against my religious belief, and he say, well, they have to leave my job, that worker is entitled to call every media house
Yeah.
to stand up in front of that man's door to give answers.
Your partner
And
calling
she
you.
or he isn't. He's
And
entitled
you got
to
your
bring
bedroom
him
calling
up
back?
before the
Take
law.
it. I'll let you take it. Let me take it.
Take it. That you, Alan.
Rubber dub dub.
Yeah, now.
Yes, go ahead.
A statement was made just now
Uh-huh.
that our employer cannot say that if you don't get vaccinated, you can't work.
Mm-hmm.
In this country, maybe yes, because it's according to the labor laws here. But do
Yeah,
you know that in Barbados, last week a QC in Barbados, a lawyer in Barbados was advising that if an employer chooses not to employ or to continue the employment of a worker who is not vaccinated, he was within his rights.
As in Barbados.
In Barbados, yes.
All right.
And he proved it according to the Constitution, because a businessman has the right to the safety of all his workers and not just one. So if you read a little more, you'll realize that
And I want to
laws,
come to that safety thing.
laws in countries differ.
Mm-hmm.
Alan alluded to that where he was talking about in Canada.
Yeah.
Right? If you take the AstraZeneca thing, they can't go into Canada or something, so.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Canada have their laws. So if you can't abide by their laws, then find something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So all I'm saying is that while in Trinidad, our employer may not be within his rights to dismiss a worker because the worker is not vaccinated. Laws in other countries do not necessarily correspond.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I agree. Thanks, Scholar.
All right.
And as I said, I hear you.
Let me just read something that adds to this. Somebody just said the Home Store made a statement that they are reopening, and all their on-duty workers will only be vaccinated. And the person said it was on news.
Right.
Okay.
That is if they get the okay of all their employees. Because remember, the government also says, as Alan was saying, that you have a right to be vaccinated or not. And the herd immunity means that only a certain percentage of your population may be vaccinated, 70%, 80%, or whatever. So what happened to the other 20% or 30%? They'll just cease to exist. They have to live among those who have been vaccinated. So, as Alan said again, vaccinate to operate is an economic decision to get the economy up and running. Vaccinate to operate. It doesn't mean that every employee has to be vaccinated to operate.
But
You
that's
see,
not,
people in
that's not what he's
Trinidad,
saying, huh? But good.
there are people in Trinidad like to listen to social media and bacchanal, and
No,
they
but
don't
hold
like
up.
to
No, but
look
hold up,
for
hold up.
facts.
No, but hold up. I just read it here. They put the home store said all their on-duty employees must be vaccinated. So not what you saying is different. You saying it doesn't mean all. But here they just said, and they said it was unused. The store said all their employees.
Yeah,
So
and
that
where that
contradicts
home
what you
store is?
saying there.
Where that home store is?
I'm not sure. I think
You see,
if I remember, I think that's a store somewhere down Piaco side somewhere there. But go ahead,
yeah,
make your
that
point.
is in
Yeah.
Trinidad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly.
But what I'm saying, in
Yeah.
Trinidad, if an employer
Yeah.
wants to put that in his conditions of work for
cannot do it.
employment, it is his right. If you want
He
a
cannot
job
do
with
that. It will
them,
go against caller.
No,
if he
Alistair.
does that, then
Listen
he
to
will
me.
No,
go and
Alistair.
face the labor
No.
court.
Stop.
He will face the
Stop.
court in
Listen.
labor if they want
Wait.
to take him up.
Caller,
Yes.
I hear what you're
Caller,
saying, and I know
listen.
your view.
Alan, listen.
Go ahead.
You cannot have. Let me tell you this now. You cannot have any condition stipulated in any contract in this country that goes against the constitution of the country.
Correct.
I agree, and that is
Correct.
what I said in the first
Right?
place.
So
And he is not
no
against same
employer
page, Alistair.
could take that policy and put it in his
Can I ask?
contract without having it being changed first by the constitution, by the government.
Can I
So
ask a question?
let me
Can I
not
ask?
even venture down that road there.
That is
Hold
the
on,
first thing I said.
Alistair, caller, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question. Eric,
Yeah.
could you please again read for us that same home store declaration?
The home store made a statement that they are reopening and all their on-duty workers will only be vaccinated.
Good. Why would he or they would state that?
I don't know.
No, but Alan, that songs. No, that is not a policy.
You know it have stores.
That
You know it
is
have
not
stores.
a policy.
You know it have stores right now. You can
And I
walk in and they
don't
have.
see that as a hold on.
No, hold on.
I
You know-
do not see that as a hold on. I
Let me
am not
ask a
seeing that as
question
a
and you give me a
policy.
chance to answer. I'm going to answer
Go ahead,
this
answer.
question. Do you know you can walk in stores right now and see signs up saying no return of item, even though consumer affairs say that is wrong?
Yeah.
Caller,
So the fact that they say it doesn't mean they're right. And that's the point Alistair
Hold on.
making. The Constitution
But-
does not allow for it. They may say that.
Question, but nobody's rights were infringed by that statement.
Which one?
Exactly.
That same statement at the home store.
So-
Nobody's rights were
and that
infringed.
is, Alan, that is why I'm saying that is not
Alan?
a policy.
Eric, nobody's
that
rights.
statement.
Hold on. Nobody's rights.
Nobody's
That
right was
statement,
infringed.
all right?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Because he didn't say if they are not vaccinated, they're not coming out to work.
Exactly.
That could
So
also
that
mean
means the
hold on.
worker.
if I have five employees, and all 5 employees had a discussion and we say we're going to get vaccinated and they say yeah, he is now entitled to say all our employees, on-staff employees are vaccinated.
Home stores in Barataria.
He is
Thank you,
marketing.
Kola. Thank you, Khalifa. Yeah.
He might be being black. He might have a marketing ploy.
Okay.
That don't mean
Right,
that
I
somebody's
understand.
rights were infringed. So if somebody if somebody who is a part of that establishment comes out and say, I can't take the vaccine, and he telling me how to get vaccinated, now we have a problem.
And here's something
Right.
funny.
Right.
Here's something funny. Just all I say. Here's something funny. Is cussing against the law in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes, it is.
No.
It's
It is
not.
not. It's not. Let me explain why. The offenses. Hold on.
Obscene
I'm gonna
language?
explain. Obscene language.
That's what you're talking about?
Wait. No. Follow me. Obscene language to the annoyance
Of the public.
of the person. Yeah, listen to me carefully, Alan. Alan, I want to hear this.
Yeah.
I want to hear this.
Clear the caller.
The offense we loosely
The
refer
caller
to
line
as.
open. Yeah, close. Let's
Alright,
go.
hold
on.
Eric, close
You
the
can
caller line.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caller,
Thanks,
so
caller.
yes.
All right.
Oh God. Alright, so
Right.
hear this. We loosely refer to the offense as obscene language. The real
Correct,
offense
right.
is obscene language,
See language to the
annoying
annoyance.
language, or there's another
Right.
one, there's a third one, to the annoyance. It only becomes an offense when somebody is annoyed at it. And nowhere inside there does it say cuss. We assume cussing to be obscene language.
Because the layman term, Eric, the
this is my
layman
point.
term for
This-
obscene is cuss.
This is my point.
Now we on the same page.
No. When you're dealing with law, you don't deal
Oh,
with
we're on
layman
the
terms.
front page.
When you're dealing with law, you don't deal with layman terms.
When
you're dealing with the legal
when all right.
definitions.
So all right. So the average citizen understand the difference between obscene and cuss. Does the average citizen understand the difference between obscene and cuss?
You know, there's a law that said ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Does the average
No.
Eric,
No.
they
Yeah.
don't. So,
Uh-huh.
but when they have to speak the language in certain halls, you
Yeah.
have to use obscene because that is what is written in the law books. And again, understanding that, no, we still have to understand the bridge between the two.
The point,
And
Alan,
like I said before,
the
the
point, Alan,
bridging is where the issue is most of the times.
The point, Alan, is that you could be with obscene without cussing.
Of course. And if you are obscene to the annoyance without cussing, you could still be arrested.
Exactly. So that the offense is not cussing.
Let me take a call. Let me take the call.
So, but
Well,
okay,
let me
but the
take the call.
layman knows, doesn't know
Let
the
me get
We
the
difference.
people
understand
involved.
that. But
Right.
this is the point
Well,
I'm making. When you're dealing with legal issues, you don't go with layman's terms.
So the
There's a
question
reason why they
comes
have
back.
legal
Let me bring it back in
definitions.
context.
Uh-huh.
So bring back the context. Based
Yeah.
on what you read, was anyone's rights infringed?
Let me say this. Here's why I went to the obscene language thing. All right, let me take this call. Now.
Take the
Rub-a-dub-dub.
call.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Rub-a-dub-dub, fellas.
Hey.
Yeah, Willie.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell yourself. Oh,
Yeah, well, you want to know?
I hear you. We
It
hear
take
you.
long,
I
it
guess
take
I-
long.
listen. Yeah,
It
let me
take
tell
real
you
long.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but here what happening. I just start from a premise and I just tell my children. I just operate from the position of a parachute. The only time if you jump out of a plane with a parachute, the only time a parachute is effect open.
It's when you open it.
Okay, so I'm with an
Yeah.
open mind.
That's right.
Yeah.
You understand? And
Yeah.
the discussion was going so nice. I tell myself to call in because Eric was hot. Want to shoot the thing, I'll let the thing run. It is listen, no, it was nice counter argument and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm breaking up your head.
A little bit. You become
Yeah, breaking up
A
slightly.
little bit. Well closer to the. If you call him WhatsApp, go closer to your modem.
You like, you made me better now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
far.
Right. Good. So it was nice counter argument and everybody forceful with the point, and that is what we want. It's good. But Alan,
Yes.
I will leave.
Doctor.
You started off something with the wise. In my training, where I did quality management, there is something in quality management called the 5 whys. And it's on the last why
Yeah.
you don't know why something really happened. The first, when you ask why, you get an answer, you ask why, and sometimes it's on the last why, the fifth why, you just get the true reason as to what it is really happened, and then also use in what we do,
which is root analysis. If you
You're
want
breaking
to
up again,
design
there,
that,
Willie.
huh?
You're breaking up,
You
Alvin.
hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, but you're breaking up.
Yeah, go ahead now.
What you're calling on WhatsApp?
Nah, it's not
You know, I call it
Oh,
for
normal call.
Yeah.
Normal call. Okay. Walk outside.
Go ahead. Don't go too far from the house, though. Don't go too far from the house.
Don't go too far.
Reach in the yard.
You can reach by the bridge. Don't cross the bridge.
Alistair, you feel like Bacana? I can't go by the neighbor. You want me to get it?
I never said the neighbor. I said the bridge. What trouble is this? Hey.
As I was saying,
Yes.
and these are the kind of things that you find out some people will not sit down and listen. They prefer to take or run with the first thing that come to them.
Correct.
Rather than to sit down, listen, get constructive, because criticism could be constructive or destructive, you know.
Correct.
That's
Right?
And it is necessary.
It's necessary. And
It is necessary.
Anytime you're in a discussion or you with something, sometimes, right?
You're dipping away again, Willie.
All you need a part two.
Yeah.
Sure.
Most definitely.
For sure.
Most definitely.
Just to finish it. So
Yeah.
I will let all your fellas continue.
Thank you.
Locked on as usual and everything nice. Later, fellas.
Yeah, man. Appreciate
Yeah, buddy.
that.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Cool.
Easy, Big Will. So, Alan,
Yeah.
back to the
Well.
statement that Eric read. I don't think anybody's right was infringed there. I believe that there was some sort of communication amongst that employer and his employees, and whatever they came up with, whatever plan they think was best for each other.
It was marketing.
Right?
It was marketing. It's marketing. It is
Right,
marketing.
But you cannot tell me that if an employer puts that policy, that vaccination policy in their terms and conditions of employment, because once
He's
you
wrong.
reach terms and exactly, and this is what I'm saying.
He's wrong.
He cannot.
He's wrong.
So
but
that's
that's what
what
started by
I was saying, and that's what I said first.
He's wrong. Listen, if Eric bring that statement in this argument, it is it kind of connects to what you're saying, and I'm saying nothing was infringed by that statement. But again,
No, but
remember, I started off by.
I don't think he brought it
Hold
based
on.
on what I was
All
saying.
right, but my
He was
point
just
is, again,
because it
hold
off
on, but
the
my
fact.
all right, but the thing is, if we listening to that, and another employee jump in without understanding what
happened,
intrinsically
the
happened
dynamics. Okay.
in that exactly, people get carried away with it and go and do the wrong thing. So he's not saying
Right.
that he's made a policy that his employers must be vaccinated. He is saying that his employees are vaccinated and working. So he's saying it's safe to come by me and
That's
transact business. That is where that statement is going. Because what I'm waiting to hear now is one of the employees here, he was say that they were fired or they were told not to come to work unless they're vaccinated. Now we have a problem.
And that is
And I'm
well,
saying
that is
that
the problem.
Let me add in,
When-
because I know
if
got
that
additional
pops up-
information. The person is saying they only took back the vaccinated employees.
Now that there
Wait,
is
wait.
where the issue
I want
begins.
an unvaccinated employee come out and say that.
They had to confirm. So
That's why I
it's
said.
hearsay.
That is why I'm saying. Now you have Guardian, Express, Newsday, bring back
Knocking on your
bomb,
door.
because we know bomb counter compliance. Sun, bring all
Hey,
the
you're
media
forgetting
houses.
sunshine. Don't forget sunshine.
Bring sunshine, bring moonlight, and march down
Rainfall.
to these and let us do a press conference in front of the man place. We need to discuss this because, like I said,
Right.
I would stand with any co-worker who does not want to get vaccinated and the employer saying vaccinate or else. Now, an employer could also say, listen to me, if you're not doing the vaccination, do a PCR test and bring it for me. Would he be wrong for that? I'm asking that.
PCR test.
Would an employer, if the employer is saying, go take a PCR test for in time you still may feeling fluish, whatever, go and take a PCR test, ensure that you're not asymptomatic or whatever the case may be to come to work here.
Here's
So that employer
here's
do
what
that.
I wonder. Here's a question I want to ask. So
It's not wrong.
So it is said the vaccine gives the person an extra layer of protection. In layman's terms. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
I'm just summarizing. I mean, oh God, we could go into all these scientific.
You're
technical-
correct.
Basically, right?
Yeah,
good.
yeah, you're correct.
Good.
We could deal with that another time.
It's
but
like
go ahead.
it's like a condom.
Right. It's not perfect. No. What is it? It's not perfect. It's not perfect
Father,
because
Jesus.
they also said it does not stop you from contracting. No, wait, have yourself now. It does not prevent you from contracting the disease. It also does not prevent
That's
you
like a condom.
from spreading the disease.
Right.
Right? Good.
Like a condom.
If you being vaccinated have the extra layer of protection, as they call it, how come the unvaccinated person is a threat to you?
They are not a threat to the person.
That is
They-
what is
and
being
that's the
said.
whole thing.
No, but that is what is being said.
Right, but who's saying it? Who is saying it?
When I said that,
This. Right.
and
Wait.
WHO,
Even if this.
hold on,
All right.
even our own prime minister said it.
The threat is the spread
So-
of it. The threat is
Well, this is what I'm
not.
trying to
The
ask.
threat
This
is not the person.
So when
Even before.
no.
No, Eric. Please, let us not get carried away with the
Alan, I want
agendas
to
of these people. and them.
clarify.
The-
No, don't go down agenda thing. I want to
I
clarify.
am saying that. Listen.
I want to
listen to what I'm
clarify what
saying.
I am saying.
Go ahead,
The
Eric.
statements is that the unvaccinated is now a threat to the vaccinated. I'm asking you to clarify that.
And
Yeah.
okay, and before I clarify that,
Yeah.
the statements also go out that the vaccinated is because of the spike in the country.
Where that
People
where that
are
come from?
people are
Who's
That's my point.
I'm not talking what people said.
You see the same question you asked there? You see the same question you asked?
Official positions. I'm not
Hold
talking about
on.
what the man in
And
the street saying,
again,
you know.
and again,
Yeah.
who is the person that said it? And let's go back to that space. I want to see A to Z. And not taking a snapshot of what somebody hear somebody say, and not see the full length of the conversation.
Alan?
Because Eric, allow me to clarify.
Go ahead.
Because
Go ahead.
if you are not vaccinated, and I am vaccinated, you are not a threat to me. As a matter of fact, I could be more of a threat to you, because being vaccinated, you could seemingly drop your guard.
Yeah.
You could take off your mask. You could start interacting with the public like if you're normal, you got vaccinated, and people will get on like that. But you could still be asymptomatic. You could still carry the virus and transfer it to somebody who is not vaccinated. And that person now is now under a threat. Now, if for that person to become a threat to me now, has to be in the space that you are, again, according to the policy of get vaccinated, you are a threat to the forward motion of getting people vaccinated for herd immunity. That's the only way I can see that ever really coming to light and making sense as a threat.
I like what
Not
you
a
say
threat to any individual,
No, I like
but
how
might
you
be
say
a
that.
threat to, it would be a threat to the progress that you're trying to have with herd immunity.
No, well, Alan,
That's a different
Alan,
space.
you see, I like what you're saying. That's how you see it. I am simply telling you what has been the statements coming from the World Authority, WHO. As I said, our own Prime Minister said it in his statements more than once. And we've seen
that you are a
other-
threat if you don't take a vaccine?
Alan, that's what is being said, even from other world governments, that the unvaccinated
I have
is
not.
now going
I have
Alan,
been listening, and I have not heard that. I have been
Ah,
listening, and
very
I
good.
have not heard that.
Very good. You
I
have
have been
not heard it.
listening,
No
and I have
problem.
not heard that.
No problem. And you see,
I
that's my
need to
point.
see. I need to see
No.
when he said that.
No,
And if
no
he
problem.
said it, then he's wrong. And if he said it, then he's
Uh-huh.
wrong. Again, that's my position. If he said, in context of you are a threat to those who are not vaccinated, full stop, without a further understanding, then he would be wrong.
No,
I am saying, however,
the reverse.
if it is that I
They say
don't
the
get vaccinated.
unvaccinated is now a threat to the vaccinated.
Well, they call me next
Right, I'm
week. Call me
saying, so
next
if
week.
it is if he said, if the leadership said that,
Yeah.
and there's no full understanding as to why it is said, then I can't take it to the bank. But if he said it, full stop as you say, then according to Lister, it is now irresponsible to say that, because you are now alluding to vaccination bullying.
It was all
And-
part
and
of the
to me-
whole thing about, just as you say, about why we need to get vaccinated, herd immunity, blah, blah, blah. The whole part, and at
Right,
the end of
and
it,
vaccinate to operate,
right, so
vaccinate to operate stays within that context.
Follow us it, right. Basically, the point is, he was talking about why we need to get vaccinated. And within that, the statement was made, and not only by our Prime Minister, I've seen it, I've heard it many times. The statement now is, the people who are not vaccinated will now be the threat to those who are vaccinated. If the vaccinated ones is the one who have more protection,
Eric,
how come the unvaccinated is a threat?
Eric, I think you're misconstruing what my Prime Minister said.
Well, they were asked
Because I said,
explain.
listen, hold on. I think you're misconstruing what was said, because if the context of the conversation is vaccinate to operate on a general scale, and you know, don't get vaccinated, but you're going and do stupidness, because I know he's sitting like that. You are a threat to the progress. Because, all right, people jump on the bandwagon, and I think I saw my boy post it up. The Prime Minister said, come to Tobago. And apparently, when he said come to Tobago, that is the only time Trinbagonians decide to listen. Right? Now, mind you, for many years before pandemic, Tobago would experience a spike in tourism, especially from Trinidad, around Easter time. People forget that people generally go to Tobago around Easter. Generally. You get plenty Trinbagonians in Tobago. So, in the pandemic, when it happened, they say because the Prime Minister said come to Tobago, people went to Tobago and get spiked. Again, it don't make sense that they connected that, because
who is
for
the
you
they
to
that
go to
said
Tobago,
that?
opposition leaders, other people in media, people who said it. Please hold on. They said it.
Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. They said it. But people will run with it. No, wait. It went to the level of people running with it as that caused the spike. That's how they further the mantra by saying that caused the spike in COVID cases, which is unfounded.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
But
it is unfounded.
But I am saying the people I am talking about, it's not like that. I'm talking about, I said it, people like WHO. That's not like the opposition. Them is the people
saying
who
if you don't take the vaccine, you're a threat to other people.
Alan, I will find the document and show.
Please do.
I will find it.
Please do.
And you see,
please do.
No, but hear this.
Please do.
Hear this. But you see,
that's something like pot and kettle.
Yeah. But you see what you're doing there, Alan, but you see what you're doing there is exactly what I started with. Because it wasn't said by, because certain things wasn't said by somebody in authority, the recognized authority, or because I didn't hear it, once I hear something else, the other thing else is wrong automatically. But our next story we could get back to.
I hear you.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Again, it doesn't support.
I have seen it.
It don't support what I support. That's what it be like. It's like, it don't support what I support, so it had to be wrong. And to me, that off. I think
Exactly.
see the two views.
Exactly.
See the two sides.
100%. Exactly.
And personally, I am not a hearsay person. If you tell me somebody say something, I want to know what was said, where it was said, the context it was said in. Give me the whole story. Don't give me that snapshot. I'm not taking that.
Yeah.
And this is not this have nothing to do with COVID. Eh? It's just me personally, generally, outside and inside of COVID. That is me. I'm not only the bacchanalia. I want the 2 sentences. Give me the full story. Give me something, or don't give me nothing at all. Because I need to get a proper perspective of what we're talking about.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
Yeah. Listen.
You'll get it.
You started talking condom talk.
Hey, you understand everybody who called and who contributed.
When I listen to talk condom talk, it's getting late. It's down inside. Yeah. Is it birthday, Alistair?
Yeah, today's man birthday.
Is Alistair birthday?
So I didn't greet him.
Alistair today's birthday?
Alan, man.
Yeah.
Wait now, but me see that on the chat.
Oh, you come late.
Alistair, what happened?
You come late.
No, we have a chat. We have a chat.
Oh, you know that now?
And nobody can say, big up to Alistair, happy birthday, live long and prosper.
Hey, somebody call it and tell her to come up the TV. Somebody call it, tell her to come up the TV.
Nobody say that.
Let me hear them.
Hello there. Let me take it.
That is okay.
Rubber dub. Last call of the night.
Rubber dub. Yes. Hello. I call.
Hello, we hear you. Go ahead.
Alan, give me a chance. Let me talk now.
Go ahead, love. Go ahead.
Yeah, only talking so much. Only forget Alistair's birthday.
No. I big him up first. I big him up to start. I really big him up. We ain't forget.
Happy birthday, Alistair. I was making Friday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Alistair.
Yeah, making Friday. Thank you.
Bro.
Talking all the time. I want to call and tell Alistair.
Sweetheart.
But you could call anytime.
Alan, close your big eye. I enjoyed the conversation.
We coming back again next week. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
I ain't going nowhere right yet.
I want to deal with Alan partner. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you so very much.
Alan, what's your? Love you, Alan.
I loving it. Love you too, no? I love you to pieces.
I want to deal with
don't miss a beat.
Who know Alan so scientific.
Alright.
Only know Alan scientific.
I want to say to Alistair.
I'll go deal with him next week.
Alistair.
Have a good week.
Thanks, my dear. Have a safe one.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, my dear. Alistair. Happy birthday, King. I didn't know. Wait, I saying happy birthday to Alistair and Alistair. I want to wish you a very special, blessed, happy birthday. It's late.
Thank you, my brother.
It is late, but it is not forgotten.
It is never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late.
But so live long and prosper, King. I really wish you all the best as you go forward. Let your wife love you, hug you up and kiss you up tonight. And hopefully do have a next one in the pandemic. Wait until the pandemic done and then come to the next one.
What I mean?
What that?
I'm going to eat a big boy. Go and eat a big. Oh, we gone.
I get your message. When you try to talk about whole wheat bread, don't let nobody fool you. They target these girls.
I am clean, boss.
Hero to understand each other.
You want to see if I'm happy or
No, right. Do I say so? When
Guys, who tell you that? Oh, you go sit down there and think about nothing.